Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. What's the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you? Man, if I had to answer this, putting me on the spot is tough. I'll have to think about this. I'll maybe come back to it at the end of the video, but let's get into it. I do remember when I was in Mexico one time, though, and I saw, honestly, like, it was like an SNL skit of what an ignorant, obnoxious American family would be. We were on a public bus in Mexico, and you had this American family. They're all wearing like sports jerseys. I don't know if they were football jerseys or what, but they had matching sports jerseys on. They were speaking with like Southern American accents, and they were chastising and screaming at this poor bus driver because I don't know if he didn't speak English up to their standard, but yeah, it was really, really horrible. I was pretty young at the time. Like, I wasn't going to intervene or anything, but I think somebody did intervene on the bus driver's behalf, but it was wild. I was like, this is literally a cartoon. All right, let's get into it.
But I say it again because some people could be so ignorant and stupid.
Ignorant.
So I went to college in the States, and this American asked me where I'm from, so I told him I'm from Korea, but my family resides in the Philippines. And this dude had the audacity to ask me if people in the Philippines eat mangoes and bananas every day, and do they live in a hut or a shack. And this is exactly what I told him.
Some people probably eat mangoes and bananas every day, but not every...
Word by word. And I said, bro, you do know that's fucking racist, right? And the guy's like, how is that racist? And I asked him the same question.
You live in a shack.
And I said, hey, I heard Americans love to shoot people, especially in schools. Is that true? And he's like, that's racist. It's so ironic that US have one of the best universities in the world, but some people can be so extremely stupid.
That's not racist. That's realism, I think we would call it.
A lot of people gave good content on this, but let me tell you from my experience, I'm a leasing specialist and I do meet a lot of people. I know everybody gets this question, where you from? Say you're from the America or from the Canada. So I live in Canada. So this white man goes, where you from? I said, from Canada. And he said, no, where you from? I said, I'm from Canada. And then he goes, no, my parents are from Portugal, so I am from Portugal. I said, oh, my parents are from Canada. I am from Canada. He goes, no, where are you ethnically from? I said, I'm ethnically from Canada. Guys, I'm an immigrant. I came here for school. My parents are in India. I don't care. You guys do the same. Watch their faces drop and be like, what is this person saying? Do they get the question? Are they dumb? I'm dumb. Say I'm from America. I was born. My parents are born here. Everybody's from.
Unfortunately, I have way too many of these stories, but I'll pick the worst one. So I used to be a tour guide for the university that I went to. And before we start the tour and start walking everywhere, I usually say something corny like, I'm going to be walking up front here, blah, blah, blah. If any of you guys want to give me company, it's lonely up here. We can chit chat, whatever. I'll say something like that. So a printer paper person came up to me and was like, hey, I have a personal question for you. To which I'm excited. Oh, they're coming up to me. Yes, personal question. This is probably about financial aid. It's about
a printer paper person? Does that mean white person? What?
Women's safety. It's about something like that. I was wrong.
I'm confused.
This man asked me why I was allowed to be in school and that he...
What is a printer paper person? Printer paper person? I've never heard this phrase. I'm confused. Let's go back a bit. I just want to see if there's any context.
If any of you guys want to give me company, it's lonely up here. We can chit chat, whatever. I'll say something like that. So a printer paper person came up to me and was like, hey, I have a personal question for you. To which I'm excited. Oh, they're coming up to me. Yes, personal question. This is probably about financial aid. It's about women's safety. It's about something like that. I was wrong. This man asked me why I was allowed to be in school and that he assumed I was Indian, and why haven't my parents gotten me an arranged marriage, and how was I allowed to be in school? And mind you, he was not quiet, so everyone on the tour heard me, and I had to answer in front of everybody. Also in front of students walking by.
So yeah, somebody's that ignorant, it's best not to even engage with them. However, I am somewhat curious about her comment. It seems about the paper person, or the printer paper person comment.
You speak perfect English.
So I'm from the US and I've been living in Spain for 5 years. A few years ago, a Spanish friend of mine who would teach English sent me a screenshot of a paper that one of her students, who was around the age of 16 to 18, wrote. It was comparing diets, and it said word for word that people from the US are unhealthy because they eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner in a fast food restaurant. And I know people in the US don't have a healthy diet, but I don't know a single person who does this. In my household growing up, my mother would cook dinner every night. We ate at a restaurant, fast food or otherwise, maybe 2 times per month. I also know how to cook and regularly cook. I'll definitely give you all that people in the US probably eat way more fast food than other places, but I just don't know anybody that goes there for every single meal every.
I'm American.
I don't understand the point of that last clip. Like, what?
Single meal every.
I'm American, but I gotta take this L. So freshman year of college, my friends and I go up to Canada to have a fun weekend, whatever. We're partying, having fun. We don't sleep at all, right? We get to the border. I'm in the backseat, slumped out. Border Patrol knocks on the window. He's asking everyone questions. He comes to me, looks at my passport. Sir, what's your nationality? I go, Luis Barbosa. He goes, no, sir, what's your nationality? I go, Haitian, Dominican, or Puerto Rican. Choose whichever one. Everyone in the car staring at me like, bro, what are you saying right now? You're about to get us arrested. I'm like,
yeah, you say whatever's on your passport. You don't make jokes to border agents. Well, it's just not a smart idea.
what am I saying wrong, right? Everyone's looking at me. So the Border Patrol tries to dumb it down for me. He goes, sir, where are you from? I go, oh, New York City. He goes, okay, so what's your nationality? So now everyone's staring at me and I'm getting tight. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that? He's looking at me. I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. He goes, yeah, you're American. Go right through. Yo, son, thank God we wasn't coming back from Mexico.
I think we can all
That was stupid.
That the school system is shit. They don't teach us anything that they need to teach us. We don't know half the shit that we're supposed to. You should, in adulthood, go outside and learn your own shit and research. Google is free. But I spent some time in Hawaii. This was pre-quarantine, maybe 2 years ago, a year ago. But I spent some time in Hawaii, and I had become friends with a lot of people down there. And this guy, this white lady, older white lady, comes up to him, and she's like, "Where are you from? Where are you from?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm from here, actually." He asked this lady, "And where are you from?" And she goes, "I'm from the United States of America." Yeah, y'all, I must have fucking cackled all the way over. She proceeds to say to him, "Wow, you speak really good English for a Hawaiian."
So when I was 16, I did an exchange program in the US from Brazil for 6 months.
I'm just going to say, I don't know about all of these video submissions.
And I remember it was December time, and I was telling one of my friends how I had spoken to my parents, and they were at the beach because it was really hot and, it was summer in Brazil at that time. And then she looked me straight in the eyes and asked me, "Oh, so is it July in Brazil now?"
I'm an American that has recently moved to London, and I've had multiple American friends ask me what language they speak here in England.
That's ridiculous.
One even asked me if I had to learn French to live here in England.
Well, the thing is, I'm sure there's many languages spoken in London. It's one of the most multicultural cities in the world.
Here we go. So we're still in Marrakesh. So the
But
American couple have assumed me as their cameraman, and
the
we're
official
at the
language
White
would be
House
English, I
Museum
guess,
getting some
right?
Instagram pics for them. And they're like, "Hey, do you want to go and get coffee?" So we hail a taxi.
Is this the people that are hitchhiking across Africa?
I expect we're going to end up somewhere like this. The Americans basically insist the taxi driver takes them to Starbucks, and he has no idea what they're talking about. But they've obviously done their research because they knew the name of the shopping center and where there was basically a brand new Starbucks that had just opened. So we're at this Starbucks in the middle of Marrakesh, and I'm asking them, so are you going to go to the desert, or are you
They're
going
gonna hitchhike
go up
across.
north? What's your plans for this trip? They tell me they have flights in 2 weeks back to the States from Cape Town, South Africa. I thought they could hitchhike in 2 weeks from here to here, and that would be perfectly normal. I'm kind of like, well, Africa's a big continent, and their response was basically that America is a big country. They're used to hitchhiking in the States. Comparing hitchhiking across this country here versus this whole continent here. And I guess I'm going to have to do a part 3. So part 3, here we go. So, still in Marrakesh. So after Starbucks, they dragged me to H&M. Like, we're in Morocco and they want to hang around H&M. I wish I knew the ending, but honestly, your guess is as good as mine. They had my Instagram, but they never followed me, so I don't know what became of them. I don't know if they got to Cape Town and made their flight. So I do have a theory that they actually weren't going to Cape Town in the first place, and they just made it up for clout. I have this theory because the night before, when they first met me, they'd asked me, is this your first time in Africa? It wasn't the first African country I'd been to. I'd been to Kenya, Tanzania, and South Africa before. So I think maybe they wanted to seem worldlier, and they just made up this whole trip and they weren't actually going to Cape Town. Love to know what you guys think, and maybe they'll see this on TikTok and I'll find out what happened. But yeah, your guesses are as good as mine, and I'm sorry I can't give you
Yeah, maybe they were just trolling and they weren't really going to hitchhike across Africa. But I don't know if it would be wouldn't it be possible to hitchhike? It would take a long time, I'm sure, but
fellow American here. And this is still the dumbest thing an American has ever said to me, because I'm from Alaska, the 49th state, which somehow gets lost in translation to the 48 other states that came before us, who somehow forget that we're a state, because then we have people who come up to Alaska and they walk into my tour shop and they're like, hi, where's the currency exchange?
No.
Are you planning a trip to Canada? We are right close to the border. No. I need Alaskan money. Are you not from the United States? No, I'm from Kansas. But I need Alaskan money. Ma'am, did you miss the giant American flag right outside I can see it out my window. There's also one at the post office just across the street. It's the same money. Stay tuned for part 2.
I'm assuming we're talking about white Americans here, right? So, story time. I was partying at my friend's house, and one of his friends, who's a straight white man, was also there. I don't remember what was the last time I talked to a straight white man, but anyway. So we said hi to each other. I told him my name's Jackie. Then he asked me what my middle name was. And I thought to myself, this is not a normal question you would ask someone, question. Especially when you don't know about each other. I guess what he really wanted to know was where I came from and what my legal Chinese name was. So I just told him I'm from China and people in China don't have a fucking middle name. And he was like, wow, I didn't know. But anyway, I am pretty sure if I were a white American, he wouldn't ask me that question in the first place.
He asked what the middle name was? Definitely weird. It did seem like a number of the people presented in this video were not necessarily a good hang and slightly annoying. That said, a few good little posts, but not really the worst. Not the worst. I didn't understand the American that was living in Spain explaining, trying to explain that no, most people don't eat fast food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. At least explaining her experience growing up. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. I don't know what to make of this one. Seemed like some of those people were kind of insufferable seeming, but I don't know. And the printer paper person statement from that one young woman, I'm curious about that one. All right, see you soon.